Welcome in. I'm Rochelle. This is Brampton Gardner, and I've back from my whirlwind trip to Anchorage, Alaska last week. So, if you have been following my channel for any time, you will know that I was heading to visit my parents in Anchorage, and I was one of the very, very lucky ones to be flying out on January 11th. Happened to be the day that the FAA systems shut down. So my flight was delayed and then it was canceled, and oh my gosh, it was a lot. So I did do a brief live when I was in a layover in Chicago. So I was supposed to fly out of Toronto at in the morning, and due to delays, I didn't fly until 9:30. By the time I got to Chicago, my flight had been canceled, and so in order to get out of Chicago to Seattle, I had to take a flight from Chicago down to Indianapolis, going back an hour. And then I went from Indianapolis to Seattle to Anchorage. And I was supposed to get into Anchorage at 3 p.m. in the afternoon. And I didn't land until after 11 p.m. that night. So that tells you how long my trip kind of got delayed. My bag made it the next night. So it came in the night after. Um, I was actually shocked that it came in because like it was all over the place. And the one flight, like my flight from Chicago to Indianapolis, I basically like just had to boot it to get to that next flight. So I wasn't surprised that my bag wasn't there. Bag actually made it to me in Anchorage as quickly as it did. So, hey, welcome in, Frosty Lone Wolf. Hi, Nicole. Yes, thank you. So, I am back on the Eastern Standard Time. And oh my goodness, time change is wow, that was tough. The whole jet lag, I don't trusted. And then now coming back, it's like I'm still stuck in like this. I'm stuck somewhere in the middle. So like I got up, I had to get up at 2:30 on that Wednesday to in order to get to the airport before 4, because you're supposed to be there 3 hours before your flight. My flight was at 6:30. So, and then I didn't land until 11 o'clock Anchorage time. So that's 4 hours earlier. So 11, 12, 1, 2, 3. So technically I didn't land until 3 hours. By the time I got to my room and in bed, I'd been awake for 25 hours. On the airplane. I can't. I tried to nod off a little bit, but I couldn't. So, yeah, and so then I got to sleep. I went to sleep there, by the time because I saw my dad, and I went in my room, and I went to bed, and then I woke up at 3 in the morning because it was 7 o'clock my time. So, for the first 3 or 4 months, up at, like, 3 in the morning, and then it was, like, 4, and then the next day was, like, 4:30, and then it was, like, 5. The latest I slept in was 5, the whole time I was there. So I would wake up in my room. I did yoga in the mornings. I'd take a shower. I'd go watch people's YouTube videos. I'd chat with my friends that were up because they were 4 hours. And then I would make my way out for breakfast around 8 because that's when, mom and dad were up by then. So, anyways, yeah, it was a bit of a crazy, crazy bit. So unfortunately, because of that, I kind of lost one evening there. But we had a great time. We traveled around. We did a lot of driving, just driving through the scenery. Yeah, it's a big it's a big time difference. And my dad is recovering from a hip replacement surgery that he had back at the end of November, and my mom is in a wheelchair. So to get in and out of the car and to go into stores was a bit of a hassle. Record-breaking snowfall in December, and they didn't like shovel the parking lots. The only parking lot that was, like, beautifully, nicely shoveled was Walmart. So, thumbs up Walmart Anchorage because your parking lot was beautiful. But some of the other ones were just, like, to try and it was just I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is ridiculous." So, a lot of times I would just run in and get something, and then, they didn't wanna have to, be stuck back inside because 'cause they'd been stuck inside for so long with the weather being so cold and, not being as mobile as they would like. So we did a lot of driving. No, they don't really either. So it's like you're driving on, like, a big pile of snow. Everyone there has snow tires. They don't salt as much as they do like throw down gravel. and they salted a bit, but I was horrified at the parking lots, and I should take in the parking lots, I was either driving or I was trying to push mom in the wheelchair, and I couldn't film it. But I was like, this would never pass in Toronto. Like I've never seen anything like that. It was an absolute disaster. So for no, you don't need chains. No. I mean, I guess if you're going up in the mountains, maybe, I don't know, but I don't think anyone does chains there. Probably studs maybe on the tires, if anything, but Anchorage doesn't normally see this amount of snow. They had record-breaking snowfall back in December, and then the temperature had been really, really cold, and the prior to my week going there, and so like nothing's melting, nothing's melting. Thanks, Ladies Farm. Yeah, you come on up. Hey, Mike, welcome in. How are you doing tonight? So yeah, dad got the all clear. He had a follow-up appointment. Looks like the implant and everything is doing well. And he's going for some physio on Friday. So hopefully he'll get up and around moving. I mean, he's walking and stuff, but and with all the ice and everything, he doesn't want to risk slipping or anything like that. So it'll be a bit before he's able to get mom in and out of the car again, I think. But she needs to, I kind of forced both of them to kick up the physio a bit. So they are in your home, which is a retirement community. And so there are two parts of it. One is just it's more like senior living. So it's like they have their own room, and then meals are provided, and there's activities and things like that. And then the other side is where my mom is at, and that is more of a hospital setting, people that need more care. So mom needs more, I think she's in level 3 or 4 care. I can't remember what the levels there, but she needs a little bit more care. So the buildings are adjoined, and dad can go over and visit her whenever, and he can bring her up to his floor to eat, and they can intermix with all the activities and everything. So it's really, I feel that they're really lucky to have gotten in there when they did. They moved in February of 2020. So had they delayed any longer, they probably wouldn't have gotten in when they did, because they shut everything down. They were not accepting new people in because of COVID at the time. Right? They snuck in right in there. Hey, G Mama, welcome in. How are you doing tonight? So yeah, so a lot of the trip, was just visiting and hanging out. I hadn't seen my parents in several years. They've been some pretty serious lockdowns, especially because of the nature of the facility that they're in. Uh, was really strict, as well. Like anyone even coming up from the States, there was like a 2-week quarantine for quite a while there. They just were like, "Yeah, we're not gonna deal with that." And so because of that, they handled the whole thing pretty well. They didn't have a lot of issues with it, just because they were really able to, um, limit who I was looking forward to going, and then, I realized in the fall that my, PR card, my permanent resident card for Canada, had expired. And I didn't realize, because of course we hadn't gone anywhere. So, and then I had to reapply for that, and it took forever because that and passport office and everything's backed up. So, I finally got that card, came in December on a Monday, and by Friday of that week, I had booked my flight. So I was raring to go. It was really good to see them. I think we got a lot accomplished. Got the car up and running. It had just been sitting, so got that thing running. Fortunately, the staff there was really helpful. They charged the battery. He had it plugged in because they have block heaters there. And then ended up just getting the guy parked next to us to jump it, and got it going. Went and got the tires, got oil in it. A lot of things that were just a little bit too difficult, to get around as well. So, and then, oh yeah, and then we went to Costco and got one of those nice big shelving units like I have in my room for my grow room. And I set that all up for dad and helped him organize a lot of his stuff that he had in the room that were just kind of in boxes and needed. We got all of that done, and we got to go shopping, and we got to spend a lot of time just hanging out. And then in my mom's room, there were pictures I'd sent of my daughter, and then a bunch of artwork my daughter has made over the years. And so I got that all hung up on the wall. So it looks kind of like a little, art room in there. So she loves being able to just get up and look, and all the artwork my daughter's made and everything. So that's been really nice. Hey, Rambo, welcome in. How are you doing? What time is it over there? My gosh, is it morning? I can never keep it all. I can never keep it all straight. I did. I got a lot done. I was there, arms and legs on the trip. I was busy, busy, busy. Back to my room around, after dinner and just relax. I did yoga every night, just either one of the videos or just stretching while I watched other people's videos, and you know, got to unwind and try to get to sleep. So that was the hardest part, was just trying to adjust to the time change. It was perfect while I was there. It was in the mid to upper 20s the whole time. One day I think was a high of 19, but it was still clear and beautiful. And so yeah, the weather, I really scored on the weather. The only thing I was sad about was the fact that I was supposed to fly into Anchorage at 3 in the afternoon, and I was so looking camera and getting some really nice shots flying in of, Southern Alaska and everything. And then with all the delays, I didn't get in until the middle of the night. So that didn't work. And then my flight out in the morning was at 6 in the morning, which was pitch black. Oh, that's another thing that's really hard to get used to. It doesn't the sun, it's pitch black 9:30 in the morning. Like, you look out the window and it's pitch black. And then by 10, the sun's kind of coming up, and that's when it's bright. So that took a lot of getting used to. Hey, Rick, welcome in. How are you doing this morning? So it was funny. The first morning we were sitting there, we're sitting at the dining table, and so the first 2 mornings I went and I had breakfast with Dad up in his dining room at 7:30. And so we ate breakfast, and then Mom, like, they don't get her up until a little bit later, and she eats around 8. And so then the one morning we went and we were hanging out with Mom after she was done eating, and all of a sudden the sun came up, and all of a sudden I looked and I was like, the window. This picture was taken from in their dining room. And I was just like, oh my gosh, like the whole mountain range is just enormous, and it's right there. And I was like, has it been there this whole time? Because every other time I've looked out these windows, it's been pitch black. So that took a lot of getting used to for me. Every time I walk by a window, I'd just be like, or driving, I'm like, oh my gosh, driving, there's mountains. There's huge mountains right there. I was like, I don't know how anyone could get lost in Anchorage, because like the mountains just I'm trying to get my hand on the mountain, one whole side of the city, and then the other side it kind of goes around the inlet. So you got all water on one side and mountains on the other side, right? So it's like, if you get lost, you just look, and where are the mountains? Oh, I'm facing the mountains. I'm facing east. Like, I was like, the city is laid out really well. So prior to probably going to do a lot of the driving, I went on Google Maps and I was looking at a lot of stuff, and then I just went like to where their house was, and I did the street view, and I just drove through downtown Anchorage, and I drove all the main streets in street view just to kind of get a feel for the area. Oh my gosh, it made such a difference when I was driving. But the whole town it's a kind of like a rectangle, and it's laid out in a grid, and it is probably the most easy city I've ever been in to drive and navigate, because the streets are, it's super easy. They did a really good job. Hey, Remy, how are you doing? Welcome in. No worries. Glad to have you in here. So yeah, so this is one of the beautiful pictures. And I was really wishing I had taken my good camera, because it was hard. So this was from the other room. So it's like, no matter what side of the building you were on, you could see some of these huge mountains. Oh, that was the other picture I had. And then there's this one here. And then if you saw my shorts video that I posted, hello, these are the moose. So we were driving, and I just finished editing the video and uploaded it today. I'm not sure when it's going to come out. I'm not sure yet. Yeah, so we were driving up the street, and all of a sudden my dad's like, there's a moose. And so I had the GoPro. I'm like, turn it on. So he's holding the GoPro. And yeah, so we just followed this baby moose down the street, and then the mama moose is there, and video of that. I was crazy. Like, they were right there. And they could have cared less that we were there. And yeah, the moose were just hanging out. Hey, Danny, welcome in. Yes, actually I have it. I have the one short. I think I uploaded it here to the thing. I can pop it on real quick. This is the short. If you haven't seen it, if you have, well, you get to watch it again.
Oh, look at that.
He's going right behind the car. Oh my gosh. Gonna go on over see mommy.
Well, I'm sure glad we came this way.
Oh my god. That's freaking amazing. Look at that. People inside the house must be freaking out. So yeah. So there's more footage of that. You'll see, like, as we saw it coming off the main road. It was on 7th Avenue, and the main stretch is 5th, 6th, and 4th. So it's right in downtown. And actually, from where my parents are at, right behind the building they're in, is the strip of park. It's called the Park Strip, that runs just south of downtown Anchorage. And they see their baby moose kind of cuddling up over there previously in the week. And yeah, sometimes they'll end up walking like into a store or whatever too. It's just kind of crazy. Yeah. Yeah, I wasn't expecting it at all. They were nuts. They were nuts. They're huge. It's crazy how big they are. And yeah, everyone, and it was funny. Everyone was excited. People were pulling over. People were coming and taking pictures with their cameras, and the moose were just really calm about it. And I was laughing. It's like, here everyone's always complaining about the deer eating their eating their rosebud. When you're in Alaska, you have to worry about the moose. And I don't know if coyote urine would work as moose deterrent or not. I don't know. That would be I wouldn't want to find out. So yeah, it was pretty crazy to see a moose. This is probably the closest, like, we were really the closest I've ever been personally, like, not in the vehicle, was on my way home from kindergarten one year, and we were coming home. I was with my aunt, and no, actually, I wasn't coming home from school yet. I wasn't in school yet. My sister hadn't come home from school, and my aunt was worried, so we went to look for her between our house and the school, which was through this little wooded forest area behind our house. And so I was with my aunt, and we had a flashlight because, of course, it was pitch black at 4:30 in the afternoon, and all of a sudden there's like this moose on the path, and it was enormous. Yeah, so I was very tiny at the time, but it was enormous. And I was just like, we just started singing, and the moose left. But that was the closest I'd ever been to a moose. That was really scary. Okay, so I've got some questions flying in. Oh my goodness, have you ever eaten moose meat? Is that a thing? Yes, I have eaten. It's not my favorite, but it's not bad. Actually, our neighbor from Newfoundland does like a nice moose stew. Moose nose stew. There's that. Rick's eaten it. Do you guys not have moose in Brampton? I would see them all the time. We don't have them so much in Brampton. There are parts. It's too populated here, and I don't think it's cold enough. But north of here for sure, and on your way like to Newfoundland and all that for sure. What is that? I missed it. What is? I'm missing what he's saying. Moose meat is the best meat ever. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a huge game meat person, but if it's done right, it is good. Moose burgers or whatever. Even where I live. Okay. No, I don't really think we have coyotes around here, but not really any moose. Looks as if the trip and starting seeds. Yes, it does. And here, you want to see the seeds I've started? I haven't. I haven't started them yet. And the reason I haven't started them yet is okay, a couple of reasons why. Oh well, I was late getting home, right? So normally I would have started like my pansies and a lot of things in the first week of January, and I didn't because I was going to be gone, and I don't trust these two to water my stuff for me. So then I plan on doing it right when I got back. But right when I unpacked my stuff, I was dead tired because I didn't get in until after midnight, and I'd been up since 2 in the morning. I have lost so much sleep in the last week. Like literally, I probably have gotten half the sleep I normally would, if that, in the whole week. So I was very tired. So Saturday, nothing happened. Sunday, I my laundry, and then in order to set up my seat station, I have to use the rack, which was in the hallway with a bunch of stuff on it. So then I set that all up on Monday, and then I realized I had to organize my seeds, which I hadn't done yet either. I'd put that off because I'd been racing around the last week getting ready for my trip. And Tuesday, and so then yesterday I was going to start them all, and I realized, oh, you know what? I have a gift card, an Amazon gift card that I haven't used yet, and my birthday's on Sunday, and so I've decided I'm going to buy myself some heating mats, which I've never used before for gardening, and so I was going to start some seeds yesterday. Husband was like, "Okay, we're dropping down next week into like the low 20s, and my window unit, my unit for the seeds is right in front of the window. So it's going to be harder to keep, a proper heat to it." And he's like, "You know what? You're going to end up just stunting your seeds." He's like, "You might as well wait. You'll have the heat mats and then everything will get, off to a better start." So I will be starting my seeds a month behind. Especially I'm a little worried about the pansies, but I mean, sometimes stunting your seedlings a lot farther than just not getting them started, if you know what I mean. So I've decided just to wait and kind of get a bunch of other things taken care of. I've reorganized a few things and just spending time with the family and edit. So I did edit another one today. I don't know when that's going live quite yet. And yeah, so that's why I haven't actually started. And honestly, I was so tired of the thought of having to film something. I was just like, I don't have the oomph. Um, yeah, yeah, it's getting to be that time again. So the roselle, I got to remember I want to start. So I did make a list. So yesterday I just started my journal, got my journal prepped. I did my journal for January and I started it for February, the calendars and all of that. And so I will be starting my pansies, my roselle, and my greens. So onions, both kinds of onions. I'm doing Walla Walla, and then the long red ones, which Nicole knows the name of, and I can never remember. And then pak choy, spinach, and some lettuce probably. I'm on basil. Don't lose the roselle this year. I don't know what happened to it. I planted roselle last year. I had it started, and then I don't know what happened to it. I don't know if the seedlings got lost in that storm that we had. I don't know if I ever planted them and I just forgot where I put them. And so, yeah, I will try not to lose them this year. Red long of tropia. Those are the red onions. So I think they're supposed to bulb up for me more than Nicole because they are long day onions. And I'm long day. You're short day, I'm long day. This whole thing's confusing. Last year was the first year I actually got any onions, and you saw that you saw how that went. They were delicious, by the way. Just really, really tiny. It was herbal, a nice herbal tea. Yes, okay. That's what I thought. Yeah, so you're just using them more as like a green onion or a chive or something like that, right? Perfect. So has anyone started seeds yet aside from Nicole? Because if you're not watching Nicole Smith, go watch Nicole Smith gardening. I'm going to drop her link right now. Where is you at, Miss Nicole? Let's see. Miss Nicole, last I checked, was at 984. So I'm pretty sure everyone in here. Ooh, 986. Well done, ma'am. Well done. Okay. I'm pretty sure everyone in here already subscribed to Miss Nicole. But if you're not, do yourself a favor and go check her out. And she's just been a seed starting maniac over there. Like so many seeds. So many seeds that she has started over there. It's crazy. I'm so thirsty. Humidifier going, but it feels dry in here. No seeds for Danny yet. All right. Anyone started seeds yet? I know Slava started hers, and I'm on my trip watching Slava starting her seeds, and I'm like, I want to be starting mine. And then I got home, and then I kept stalling. Mike's all the seeds. Yay. Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. I think part of it is I'm just feeling kind of overwhelmed because normally I would just do smaller amounts. going through in January, and then February is just every week I just do a few more. And now I'm like I'm so behind that when I start, I'm going to be like, boom, I got to just go and do a bunch. Starting like my begonias, petunias, impatiens, lobelia, like a lot of that I was planning on starting in February as well. So I might just hit the ground running and just be like boom and do a lot of it. I do plan on doing some winter sowing this year, but not I'm just going to stick with the things that I've had really good success rate with in the winter sowing, which would be greens. Broccoli last year was outstanding, and poppies. The only way I will ever grow poppies from seed again is out winter sowing. It just, they love it and they work really, really well. And then, yeah, peppers. Yeah, I got to get the peppers going. I don't know what happened to my peppers this year, my seeds, because oh, yeah, you're gonna be super busy. Yeah, you need to slow down on the peppers. I mean, oh yeah. Yeah, you're gonna need to slow down on the I'm clicking on the wrong person. Danny, you know who you are. Yeah. Slow down on the seeds this year. You can always buy a few starts if you need to. Better than getting overwhelmed and wasting a lot of your time and energy. Yeah, I'm lost. Whatever. I got a hiccup. Excuse me. Yeah, Nicole likes my big jugs for winter sowing. All right, all right, all right. We're having way too much fun with that. Is my microphone working? All of a sudden it looked weird. The light wasn't on. Is it on? You can hear me? All right. I bumped the thing. Yeah. So I think winter sowing is just gonna pretty much be that. And maybe like perennials. I find perennials do really well with that. I know it does. I know it really, really does. Like, not, I love waking up every morning and checking them all, and I love brushing my hand across them. I don't know. It makes me so happy, especially when it's the herbs and it smells amazing. Basil or cilantro seedlings, and you get to touch them. Oh, and the other good thing is it keeps my kid out of my bedroom because otherwise she tries to go in my room and watch TV. But once I start the seeds, she complains because she hates the smell of dirt. She goes, "It stinks in here." So yeah, that's another bonus. I know. Yeah, it's gonna be a crazy gardening year for you this year, Danny, for sure. Hey, David Gray, welcome in. How are you doing? Um, yeah. So just take it easy. And remember, there's no shame in having to buy starts. It happens. I might have to buy jalapenos. I don't know where my jalapeno seeds are. Jalapenos the last couple of years, and I know I saved the seeds, and I have 2 packets of mystery pepper seeds. So when I was saving the seeds, apparently, I swear to God, I tried to label everything, and somehow it didn't happen. So one package of seeds that says small pepper seeds question mark, and I have another package of seeds that says red pepper question mark. So yeah. So peppers that I do have that I will be starting, the Big Jim and New Mexico 6, which are basically the same type of those peppers. They're very mild, green chili, but they just have a lot of flavor and they're really nice when they're roasted. Then I have the habanadas, which I'm really excited about because they're like a no heat habanero. And so you get that nice fruity habanero flavor. And then I have the red cherry, which I really like. Those were and delicious. I stuffed them with cheese and marinated them. They were really good. I have some scotch bonnets. I'm trying to remember the last couple of years I had like a crazy insane number of peppers, and then this year I I was going through my peppers and I was like, this is weird. Like I don't know where they all are. Oh, and the Wekowski? No, that was the Werekai. That was a tomato. Ooh, it was another weird long W word, and it's like the long yellow peppers that kind of twirl up. I don't know if it's like a Hungarian pepper or but I do have those. And 2 different kinds of scotch bonnets. So I'll be all right. I'll make it. I'm kind of sad about the jalapenos, so I'll have to look around. I might have to get some jalapeno seeds, because that's just really weird. Or else they're the small pepper seeds that but oh well. Yeah, so lots of leafy greens, beans, peppers, squash, tomatoes, cucumbers, and herbs. I've got lots of everything else. I am good. I have a few new herbs this year to try. What was that one? Chervil? Chervil, I think. And then I have the one we all tried. Oh, it's called Mexican tarragon or something. And the edible chrysanthemum. Like I got a lot of it. Ask IBG for seeds in her giveaway. Oh, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. Danny is not growing hot peppers this year. Yeah. I don't think I've ever even had it. Mexican, yeah, marigold mint. Yeah, and then I think it's also called Mexican tarragon was another name for it. Yeah, it's the same one. I think you got it too in her seed swap. Perfect. I will look into that. Thank you. I use Scotch bonnets in cooking. When I do some of the different Caribbean dishes, I will use, one or two Scotch bonnets in the dish. So I do like to have some of those. Although I have a bunch in the freezer from previous years. So that's not a problem. But anything hotter than that, like I've grown the Trinidad scorpion which I don't know. I grew one of them and they were so flippin' hot. Like as the older I get, the less I need to torture myself like that. I do have some. Oh, are they? So my husband's friend grew, I think it's either a ghost pepper or a Trinidad scorpion, and they were dried. Like you gave me the whole peppers, and I dried them because I was like, I don't know what to do with these, so I dried them. So they still have the seeds in them, and that's been a couple years. They're sitting in my tin, where I keep all my dried herbs. So I have those. Oh, Thai peppers. So my daughter's friend up the street, they're Vietnamese, and they do um like they do probably like 10 or 15 pots down the length of their driveway of Thai chilies, like chop, and they make hot sauce out of it. And it is so hot. They give me this little jar every year. It's delicious. It's got a beautiful flavor, but it is so stinking hot. You just need a little bit at a time. So she did give me a handful of the fresh peppers as well, which I threw in the freezer, and then I can just use them as needed. So I'll pull some seeds out of that as well. Yeah. So I'm debating this year. I've never used the heat mats, and I bought like the cheapest ones on sale. So I don't know exactly how great they're going to be. Keeping an eye on the temperatures because some people said, oh, they're great. Some people said they got hot spots or whatever. So I'm kind of contemplating not doing the baggy method with the pepper seeds this year and just going straight into the soil blocks with them on a heat mat. Or should I still go ahead and do the baggy method with just the pepper seeds? I'm debating. I'm debating. So I mean, it is much more foolproof to do the baggy method, and then I'm only sticking seeds into the soil, not wasting any spaces on my things. Or should I just experiment and like cross my fingers and be like, you know what, let's just go for it this year and make it easier? Because it's going to be a little bit easier. But I don't have a ton of varieties of peppers either this year. So Nicole's voting for just the blocks. I might do that. And then I'm going to be starting all my micro tomatoes. So micro tomatoes, I have 5 varieties, 5 or 6. So I have Tiny Tim, I have Olapo, names, Bahaha, Orange Hat, Bianca, no, It's not Bianca, but it's another one like that. I can't think of the name. But yeah. Blocks, blocks, blocks. Everyone's saying block. And if none of them sprout, it's going to be all your fault. Okay? Bung them in the dirt. Give them water. Yeah. Yeah. The only thing and the main reason I didn't do that before was because I didn't want to waste, space on my trays, right? Limited growing space. But now with the soil blocks, they don't take up very much space. So that by the time I go to pot them up, then I can just pot up the ones that are doing all right. And then what I can do in the ones that don't come up is that's usually where I'll drop a few like herb seeds, basil or whatever that are easy to tell. And then I don't have to worry about labeling those in amongst the other things. And then I was organizing everything. I'll show you in a video. I haven't decorated the thing yet. I'm going to paint it, but I haven't decided how I'm going to do it yet. So I just put all the seeds that actually fit in just the 2 bottom rows. So the top row, I have like all my seeds that I do for winter sowing. They go in a bag because I have to take them outside to do them. So they're in there. I can put my journal in there. My stickers fit in there. My stamps fit in there. And my printout for like when I'm sowing seeds. So it's kind of nice. The top is kind of like a little junk drawer, for my paperwork and stuff. So it worked out really well, that container. So I'm trying to decide if I wanted to decorate it fun and cute, or if I want to decorate it to kind of match the living room so that I can stay in the living room, but I'm not sure where I'm going to be storing it. Because I don't need it year round. Year round. I only need it accessible when I'm starting the seeds, and I'm usually starting the seeds upstairs in my bedroom. So I don't really need it to match the living room. So I'm trying to decide how I'm going to decorate it. This year I may get a heat mat though. My parents' house is chilly. Oh, that's too cold. And keep in mind, whatever the room temperature is, your soil is usually 10 degrees cooler than that. So even if I keep the house at say 70 degrees, if anything needs to be 70 degrees to germinate, my soil is going to be at 60 if my house is at 70. Dwarf tomatoes. This is the year of the dwarf tomatoes. I grew a bunch of dwarf tomatoes last year, but this is the year of the micro dwarf tomatoes. Yes. Yeah. No, I like it to be around, I think at night here, I don't know. The living 70 degrees, and then the bedroom can be a bit cooler sometimes, or warmer. It just depends on airflow. But sometimes, yeah, we can go down. We'll be around 68 or whatever, as long as I have a nice big warm comforter. It is a bit cold. Oh, yeah, this is going to be exciting. We should have a dwarf tomato grow off, or who can grow the tiniest tomato plant with the most produce. That's what gets me about those dwarf tomatoes. If you watch, so the lady that gave me most of these dwarf tomatoes, she has a gardening channel called Gardening Fun with Jane. And she has a great, actually, you know what? I'll pop it up. She has a great video on her dwarf tomatoes. And it's just blows how small these plants can be and how loaded down with fruit. That's a great collab idea. There you go, Danny. There you go. A grow off-ish. Who's micro tomato? I think that will be fun. That will be fun. Okay. Okay, so here I'm going to share my screen. So if you're not following Garden Fun with Jane, she has 464 subscribers if you want to go and check her out. But the scenery, like she's got mountains behind her. It's absolutely gorgeous scenery. She's in Utah. So she's in a zone 6, beautiful gardens. So she's been pumping out the videos lately. So a lot of this footage last growing year, she just didn't have time to edit a lot of it. But now it's kind of a fun time anyways to be looking at these videos. So she's got a ton of tomatoes, ton of tomato seeds, and she loves sharing tomatoes. If you're interested tomato seed swapping, she's definitely the lady. But I'm just gonna pop on down and see if I can't find the one about her micro tomatoes. Boom, boom, boom. Bear with me. Bear with me. My gosh, I'm sorry. I hadn't thought of this sooner. See, 4 months ago. So you can see like she's just been editing and pumping out. Here we go, micro tomatoes. So it is a longer video. I'll just kind of zip through some of it. And we're gonna zip past the ads since she is not monetized quite yet. So we don't have to worry about and she's got, you know, several kids and dogs. So
this is an orange hat that has started on its own outside. So I put it in this cute little pot. These
it's gonna come. So here is her section of the garden.
Micro tomatoes. I have been having so much fun with these. Hi, Lindsay.
I'm gonna try to make this screen a little bit bigger.
So all the different varieties in here.
Oops.
I have them memorized now because I've been eating from them for a little bit.
Oops, sorry. Here we go.
But I will put the names up above. The one she's eating is called Baja. It only gets like 12 feet. I'll write the names.
12 inches.
Patio. These, oh no, it said Patio Princess, but it's a hybrid.
But look, I mean, that's a pretty big. These little, like, the plants are so tiny.
Orange hat.
I'm really excited to try orange hat.
Come down in here. This one, we've been taking some off of it. It was the totem one. Sorry, let me find them. Totem micro.
So I haven't. Mike, what do you recommend?
It's just done.
Okay, so then she's got the Baja.
And the thing about
I don't know if I'm saying that right.
This one is they're not very uniform. They put off tons of different little.
Oh, that's cool.
And big cherry tomatoes. You like them? I think they were good, but because they're such an odd. They planted the same thing.
Yeah, I got the orange hat seeds from a friend from the Canadian Gardening Board on YouTube. I mean, on Facebook. I've been friends. Sent me those seeds.
So this micro. This one was a Patio Princess too. That fun one.
Her little girl's so excited over these.
You're not supposed to be eating these.
Oh no! And now the dog's getting in on it. I love the chaos of the video. Okay, yeah, get the full orange. Yeah. Oh, good to know, Rick. Yeah.
Give it to him, then he'll think he can eat it. Bunny thinks it'll turn even more yellow. Okay, right next to it, I have even more. I
mean, there's so many crazy amounts of tomatoes on these.
Harvested this thing. Vilma. If I can see the tag, otherwise I'll put the name on.
They're so dense.
Vilma micro, 8 inches.
Okay, I don't have that one.
Poor girl.
Pinocchio. I don't have Pinocchio.
Everywhere you look, there's more.
I would have to look at my thing they have.
I think the flavor's good, but it's not. He's a little bit bigger. He's kind of getting crispy. We're in.
So yeah, she's got a ton, and then I'll go to. Oh, sorry. This is now it's. And what am I doing? Here we go. Okay, she's got this other video on tomatoes, like where she shows you here her September tomato haul. I mean, this is crazy. So, and she's just in a suburban backyard. She's not in a huge yard.
When the stakes are high at work, your tone matters.
Yeah. Well, and I'm hoping, Nicole, like if you even have some that are in some containers that you can maybe move around or maybe even bring them in. But this is her. I mean, this is insane. Look at all these tomatoes she's got. And all at the same time. Yeah. She goes through and she breaks down the varieties of all of them.
Pulling tomatoes from the front and backyard. Look at these varieties. All right, let's just start. We are going to start on this side.
All right, so I'll drop a link for that if anyone's interested in her tomato collection. And she breaks it down and she goes through and she does taste tests on some of them and whatever. And like I said before, she's more than happy to do some seed swaps with you if you want. But you can see here she's got Kentucky beefsteak, great mortgage lifter, white cherry, bumblebee, lilac, sorry, pineapple, striped Roman, Isis candy, nature's riddle. I mean, she's got it all. So if you're into tomatoes, definitely check them out. I've shared plants with my elderly. All they have to do is water them. Beautiful. Yeah, every year I usually grow way too many tomatoes, and I try to do a bit of a seedling sale, and not this year. This year I have a lot more, and I just don't want to take up the room. Last year I ended up growing. I had was at 100 and like I had over 100 and some tomato plants, and I only kept 12 of the yeah. And so I sold a few, and then I ended up just having to give away a ton of them. Finally, I just put them in my wagon and I just walked up and down the street, and anyone that was out in their yard, I just ambushed them. Tomatoes in their car, whatever. I'm like, hey, you want a tomato plant? So that's what I did last year. It was kind of fun. I'm no longer the crazy pug lady with the pug in the stroller. I am now the crazy tomato lady. So there's that. I'll take it. But people were like, no, it's okay. No, thank you. And then some people were really excited and they were like, oh yeah, I'll take one of those and one of those and one of those. So it was pretty cool. I think my seedling sale worked pretty good the previous 2 years, just because everything else was shut down, right? Like you really couldn't get seedlings, garden centers were shut down. So that's kind of why I had to have the availability of it. But then last year, and by the time it's like it's hard to judge like when they're ready. And then I don't want to sell them until they're hardened off properly. And then sometimes by then other people like they already I don't know. They take up a lot of space in my little tiny greenhouse, and just it's just not worth it for me. So I'll grow a few extras for a handful of people, and then that's going to be it. And then I'm going to save that flowers. Because yeah, when I was counting up my seeds, I have 8 different varieties of petunia seeds. 6 of them are seeds that I have saved off of plants that I've grown, or 2 of them are from my neighbor's plants from plants that she's bought in planters. And I was gorgeous purple. So one of them is a dark purple, and the other was one from a planter she had this summer. It was like this vibrant, like cranberry color, which could be similar to the one I bought from Stokes. I'm not sure. So I might have 2 that are kind of similar, and I'm really excited to try that lime green. So I have all of those, and then I bought, and I've got like, I got the polka dot plants. I've got the millet, so like that fun grass. I ordered a lot more different types of flowers this year, so I gotta make sure I have room in the greenhouse for them to fill out. Oh, and then so there was a lady right before, so it was like 2 days before I left on my trip. There was a lady on the local Ontario garden forum on Facebook who had a picture of her dichondria, and it's also known as Silver Falls. So it is here, I'll look it up. It is a plant that is like a hanging. It's not a climbing plant. It's a draping, cascading. I can't think of the word. I'm looking for your spiller, but usually it's like you do it in like a tall hanging basket, and then it hangs down, and it's kind of got like this silvery. So here we go. We're going to add that to the string. There we go. so she's like, oh yeah, I have a ton of seeds of this if anyone is interested. And oh, ground cover. Oh, that's cool. I hadn't thought of that. That's a good idea. I don't really know much about it. If like that, I got to look into that. So let's see what it says. Oh, there you go. Very heat and drought tolerant. Oh, that's perfect. So it's going to be good in hanging baskets and everything too. Oh, and it looks cute with the bunny tails. You have bunny tails, don't you, Nicole? So apparently it was a very prolific seeder. She had a ton of seeds. And so she was offering if anyone wants them. And I was like, I would love some. What do you want of mine? And so she said, well, what? She goes, I don't know. She goes, I have so much of everything. She goes, what are 2 seeds that are your favorite to give away? Said, like favorite. She's like, your favorite or your most popular or whatever. So I said, well, I would probably have to say my garden huckleberry. I find them, it's a unique plant. A lot of people don't have it or haven't grown it, but I really like them and they're great if you like making jam and stuff like that. Or climbing petunias. And so she messaged me back and she's like, oh, tell me more about these garden huckleberries. She never heard of them. And I was like, oh, you're in luck. I have a video on that. And then she asked me, oh, what about these climbing petunias? Do you have any pictures? I'm like, oh, better than that. I have video on that. So that was funny. Oh, I got to reposition. I don't know. This chair's not very comfortable anymore. I don't know where I used to have that little round, like half yoga ball thing that I would sit on. And I don't know where that went. Oh no, hold on. Is that going to work? Let me see if I can get me to get my color back. Oh gosh. Let me see. Sorry about this, guys. I'm so washed out. Am I coming back? Oh, I was almost back. Let's see if I can do that. I'm looking for wild or mountain huckleberry seeds. Anyone working? No, I don't have any actual huckleberry seeds. Huckleberries are very popular in Alaska, actually. In some of those stores, do the tour through the stores. There's a ton of the huckleberry candies and jams and fireweed as well, which I thought was kind of cool. Yes, I was a ghost. I was ghosting y'all. Yeah, so much better. I don't know why it does that. So, you can get it in emerald as well instead of the silver falls. The dichondra comes in. Look over here. See this one? I don't know why it's not clicking on it. There we go. So this one is more of a green color, but I kind of like the silver. I think that's kind of unique. So then, yeah, she was like, well, I can't decide between the petunias or the huckleberries. And I said, well, you can have them both. I don't care. Once I'm sending a stamp, it doesn't matter to me if I send 1 seed or 3 seeds or 5 seeds or whatever, right? So, yeah. The garden variety you have to cook, but wild huckleberry is good raw. Yeah, so wild huckleberry is actually a berry. The one I have is not a berry at all. It's a nightshade. So it doesn't taste like huckleberry. It looks like a huckleberry. Even when you add the sugar and everything to it, it tastes a bit blueberry, wildberry-ish, but yeah, you definitely don't want to eat it raw. Even raw. No, unsweetened. I did make a salsa. But it was a little, I don't know, it was a little off-putting eating like black salsa. It was just kind of weird. It wasn't as appetizing as red or green salsa is. So, oh, I was so excited today. I opened up one of my green salsas that I canned this summer. So that was exciting. I had finished off the jar that I had eaten when I'd made it. And then today I made some empanadas. And so I was like, ooh, that would be fun to have with them. So we had that. And the reason we had empanadas was because I thought I was buying corn tortillas. I was at the Asian market, and they have the big bin with all the different corn tortillas, and they had 2 different brands, and I was just looking in, and one of them was on sale, and I grabbed it and I threw it in the cart. And then I got home and I was unloading the groceries, and I was like, well, these look different. They're kind of soft. And then I looked at it, and it was empanada dough. So we had empanadas for lunch instead of tacos with the pulled pork. But it turned out it was really good. But it was just funny. I was just like, I think someone had just set them in there and then bought. I didn't realize. I didn't even know. I had never even really seen empanada dough to be eaten here. So yeah, so that's what we ended up having for lunch. And so then I cracked open one of my very own home canned. So this summer was the first jar of canning that I'd ever done. I've made jams and things like that in the past, but I've never done any actual canning. So it's been fun to crack open the few jars. So I've already cracked open one of my beets and one of my jams, and now my green salsa. It was very good. It was very heavy on the coriander, which I like. Oh no, you better get started on those tomatoes. Yeah, you're running out of salsa. I made quite a few of the little jars of the green salsa, and I don't eat the green salsa as much as I do the regular salsa. Regular salsa this year, I just made the green, and then I just have the jarred salsa. Yeah. So I've been a little overwhelmed this week. It's like I have so much I need to do, and I can't do any of it. If you know what I mean. That's kind of where I felt. Just kind of recovering, coming back from the trip, trying to get my bearings. And then Tuesday and Wednesday, we had to get up really early for work. And so that didn't help with my sleep issue. So I've been going to bed early though. And I'm probably going to go to bed fairly. I'm not going to stay up too late tonight. I won't keep you guys up too late tonight because I am tired. We had to wake up at 6 this morning to find out whether buses were going to be canceled or not. Daughter had her before school program that she started for yearbook this morning. She has to leave at like 7:30. So we had to all wake up in order to find out that buses were canceled. So she stayed home and I went back to bed, but I was still up, and I dozed back. But so now that I kind of have that wait for the seed mat thing, I'm going to do that. I think it makes the most sense, right? So Amazon is saying they should come on Wednesday. Oh, because I had to order from the US website. So normally we order everything on Amazon.ca, but the gift cards I've won, thanks to YouTube, are Amazon.com gift cards, and I cannot use them on .ca. So that's why they've been kind of sitting there for a little bit. I haven't used them because normally I do everything on .ca. I use, my husband's account has Prime and whatever. So I was just like, you know what? I want heat mats. I got the gift card in there. I'm going to do it. So I ended up, it was on sale from $28 for 2 down to $18. But then shipping was being $28 with the $10 of shipping. So it's saying it's going to come and be here on Wednesday. So if it comes from the US, then that's probably when it will come. If it actually gets shipped from the giant Amazon warehouses that are just up the road. So a lot of times I order stuff from Amazon. I will never pay for, express rate or anything like that on Amazon .ca, because we literally live 10 minutes from like 3 giant Amazon warehouses. And so sometimes we get it the same day. Amazon, and just gone like with the free shipping or whatever, and it's come like that afternoon. If not, it's usually within 1 or 2 days we get everything. So it's pretty convenient. I wish they had like a pickup. If you could just go and pick it up, it would be super handy. Or drone delivery would be great. Would be close enough for that. So Yeah, so I kind of feel like, oh, I'm going to be kind of on pause because I don't really want to prepare any of my containers too early because then I'm just, keeping them moist for no reason. So um, I will be doing the broadcast. Was it Charles Dowding or whatever, or like old school seed starting method with the petunias? And I think the pansies, unless the pansies are pelleted, I'll have to find out and see if they're pelleted and the size of the pansy seeds. But some of these seeds are so ridiculously tiny that one or two seeds onto each soil block is just, it's not going to happen. So I did this last year with my pansies and my petunias, and um, I didn't do it with the lobelia, and I really, really should have, because I tried just sprinkling those on and they were a disaster. I ended up having to take and pry them all out of the soil blocks. So it was not worth it at all. At all. So yeah, I'll be doing that method, but most everything else is going to go in the soil blocks. I'm not starting any of the larger soil blocks yet. Those will be I'll be using the 3/4 of an inch ones, and the larger 2-inch ones, I will only be doing those. That's only usually for potting up, and then things that have like larger seeds. So things like some of the larger sunflowers, possibly some zinnias, depending on the size of the seeds. I might just go straight to the larger soil blocks. But the smaller soil blocks are just so amazingly convenient for keeping everything so neat and tidy and in tiny little trays. Because I'm going to be starting a lot more varieties this year. I don't know if I'm necessarily going to be doing that many more plants. See, like last year I had 3 varieties of petunias that I did, but I grew like over 200 of some of them. 300 petunias altogether. So this year, I don't know if I'll be doing all 8 varieties of petunias, but I'm not going to be growing as many of each variety, if that makes sense. Hey, Jesse and Lisa, how are you doing tonight? I have so many baby zinnias that have sprouted. Awesome. I'm so excited to have my envy zinnias. Yay. Happy New Year, Best Yet Journey. How are you? How's it? Why is everyone on a cruise right now? Like no one invited me. I went to Alaska in January. So I'm a little miffed about seeing all these people in warm places. Welcome in, everybody. So I am doing great. Thank you very much. How are you? Good to see you. I feel like I haven't seen everybody in so long. I was watching videos and kind of tried to keep up with some of them, but I wasn't in lives. I wasn't, I'd get back to my room, fine, and then it's like everyone else is already gone or in bed, and so it just seemed I feel like I'm a little out of touch with everybody. So, yeah, Jesse and Lisa had the tornado come by near them. Thankfully, they were all right, except for Lisa's greenhouse. So that's a shame. But yeah, it could have been so much worse when you see that path it was on. Really scary, really scary. And then, yeah, Jesse and Lisa had a great weekend down in New Orleans with Danny and Scott from Rambling with the Rooms. So, yeah, super jelly ones, having their beignets. Yeah, the food there is amazing. I was in New Orleans in November of 2020, so it's been a while, but the food was amazing. I love me some po' boys. Yes, ma'am. Um, basically anything fried with aioli on a bun. I'm here for it. Yeah, she lost the greenhouse. That's too bad. Hopefully, it shouldn't have a lot in it right now. What you guys got going on in your garden there right now? And then, so yeah, we got Scott's on a cruise, and then we got Miss Ann Dale's on a cruise. So, yeah, I've been keeping tabs on everybody. People are out and about and doing stuff. Yeah, looks fun. And so where are you at right now, Nicole, Lydia? Oi. Because some people, I don't know, like they post stuff while they're on the cruise. Other people wait till they get home. Alaska, but I'm waiting to get home to post the other one. And so, so I have 2 videos pretty much ready to go. One of them, I will be touring through just a few shops in downtown Alaska. And the first one is a toy store. And I'd seen, and I was like, I gotta go in that toy store. I gotta go in that toy store because, and it was very nostalgic for me. So when I was a kid, I grew up in Fairbanks, Alaska, and there was this famous restaurant we used to go to eat at, and they were famous for their, well, we always got their stew, like the amazing stew, and then it came with a big bread roll, and then if we were lucky, we would get their chocolate mousse after, which was really, really exciting. And the name of this restaurant, the nickname was Clinks, or the shortened version of it was Clink and Daggers. But the full name was Clink and Dagger. That was the name of this restaurant, hence why we called it Clinks. And it was in this plaza, and the restaurant was to the side, and then there was like a little strip mall. And in the strip mall was this toy store. And it was the first time as a kid I'd ever been in a toy store like that. We didn't have like Toys R Us around then. I'm dating myself. I don't know when, Jesse, when did when did Toys R Us start? But I remember going in, and it was this narrow, tiny toy store, and it was floor to ceiling shelves of toys. And it was the first time a lot of like home, like they had like little vacuums and irons and like all the house toy stuff, which I'd never ever seen before. And I just remember I would get so excited anytime we would go eat there, and I would beg, can we at least just go walk through this crowded, tiny little. And so when I saw this toy store there in Anchorage, I was like, oh my goodness. Started in 1948. Okay, well, they were definitely around before me then. Never mind. Just probably not in Fairbanks. Okay. Yeah. So that was, oh no, oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. That is terrible. Yes, I know. I'm excited about that. I just don't know. Yeah. So you'd be going in and out of Seattle, I'm assuming would be where it's going. I'm supposed to go my first. Oh, good Lord. Watch out. Oh no, I'm sorry about that. Yeah, I'll email you about that. I'm interested. I don't know. I know the prices of Alaska cruises are a lot more expensive than they should be. Discount. But yeah, that's definitely the way to see Alaska. Everyone kept saying, "Oh, I want to go." It's just so lucky. Like, go in the summer. Yeah, don't go in January. But I mean, I hit the weather really well. We had a little dusting came in. I had to dust the car off one morning. But like it was easy to get around, and it wasn't too cold or anything like that. So I lucked out. It was nice, clear most days. Absolutely beautiful, beautiful sunrises and sunsets, which of course I never got on camera. The one morning the sunrise on camera this morning, and I went up there, and it was just kind of meh. The day before, the whole sky was just lit up. It was pink, it was purple, it was gorgeous. And I, of course, didn't have my camera. Yeah, because the sunrise is at 10 a.m. So you're always in the middle of already doing catch it. And then I never did catch the sunsets because it's right when you're in the middle of eating dinner and stuff. So that's the hardest thing to get used to is the daylight hours there. Yeah, so when we're on, we'll be sailing out of Seattle, Ketchikan, Juneau, Skagway, Victoria to Seattle. Okay, cool. Yes. So my mom was actually born and raised in Juneau. And one of the ladies at her table in Anchorage there is from Ketchikan. And one of the other ladies was from Sitka. So it was grown up in the area or but the one lady I met there, she was the sweetest thing, the friendliest, most outgoing, tiny little lady. And she had won Walmart Greeter of the Year in Texas one year. And I am not surprised. First. Yeah. Did you know? Yes, my mom is from Juneau. Juneau and Douglas. Yeah. She grew up there and the weather is so bad. It's always raining in southeastern Alaska. It is actually a rainforest. It's not a tropical rainforest, but it is a rainforest. And she says she remembers when she was a kid, they would get the day off from school if it was sunny because it was so rare. She said she remembers one summer, 3 days the whole summer where it didn't rain. Yeah. And the first time she got on an airplane, because the only way in and out of Juneau is either by boat or by airplane. And they were both on Wednesday. So if you wanted to leave or come into Juneau, you could only do that on a Wednesday. She remembers when she was little, her first time on an airplane, and they're flying out through the clouds. It's pouring down rain, and they get up above the clouds, and it was sunny. And she's like, "What do you mean it's sunny? Why the sun's out?" And then she realized that the sun is always out. The sun is always out. And it was just these that got trapped against the mountain that made it rain and be overcast all the time. And so she was very, very angry when she realized that the sun was always out. It was just being hidden from them by the clouds. So, yeah. 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 So she has that story. And then she has the other one where, I think I told that before, where she went to school. She'd only ever seen a flat map. And it was during the days of, the Cold War. And she was, living in Alaska. They were so far away from Russia. And it wasn't until she went to school and saw a globe for the first time. And then she almost had a heart attack. In first grade. She's like, what? Because, yeah, globe. She'd only ever seen a flat map. So, and it's funny because when you think about, you forget how enormous Alaska is. So like my flight, I flew from Toronto to Chicago and then from Chicago to Seattle. And it's almost as long. I mean, it's a 3.5 hours, almost 4 hours from Chicago to Seattle. And it's 3.5 hours from Seattle to Anchorage. It's almost the same distance from Chicago to Seattle as it is from Seattle to Anchorage. And you forget about that because on maps, they always pop Alaska down below or they shrink it so that it fits on the map at scale. And you don't see how far over it is. Like when you're looking at an actual map, right? So, why do I hear birds? I guess her room listening to bird sounds. Do you guys hear that? I don't know if it's picking up on the mic or not, but I'm like hearing birds singing. It's all of a sudden it just started. It's really weird. Maybe she's doing a sleep video, that or we have birds that have like infiltrated the house. I'm freaking out right now. Me and birds. Terrified of birds. Yeah, so those are my two mom's funny school stories. Yeah. You don't hear it? Okay, good. It's just going to drive me nuts. All right. Can you turn off the birds? Yeah. It's going to remind me of like when the birds wake me up at exactly. Yeah. They're behind me. It's like in the mornings. I love sleeping with my windows open and in the summer and the springtime, but then those birds and earlier at like 4 a.m. There'll be this stupid bird come and parks itself right outside the window. You turn off. Exactly. I don't know. I think it's a timer. I think it's her clock. we bought her years ago when she was little. It's one of those clocks that just the light comes on gradually to wake you up. And so then you can have it with like nature sounds, and it starts off kind of quiet with the light, and then it just kind of gradually wakes you up. And that's what it sounds like in her was going off. And I don't know. I don't think she's even in there. Yes, exactly. I should do that if y'all want to see. I love maps. I love maps. I should have been a mapologist. That's what they're called. So I guess you should go to Google Maps. Probably will be the easiest. But yeah, so I mean, you forget how far up is. Get away. Yeah. Like it's way over there. You always just kind of picture it. I mean, even me, I just picture it kind of like right in here. And it does start here. So to be fair, like Juneau is right here, right? But Anchorage is really, really far over. And Fairbanks is very far north. So this is where I was born, up here in Fairbanks, and North Pole's right below it. And then here's where my parents were at in Anchorage. And so you see this mountain. You see these. Here, I'm trying to. All right, get Nicole off of there. Yes, I know it's cartography. It's not mapping. Hi, Cindy. Hi, Sheppy. How are you doing? Welcome in. How's everyone doing? So yeah, I can show the layers. Oh, so I mean, you can see like these mountains. They're like right here. So these are snow-capped mountains that you see in the distance, and then here's Anchorage, and it's surrounded by the inlet, right? And so it's weird how it just like all of a sudden right here it just goes flat. Even these lower, I mean, it's all snow all along here, but these are the Chugach Mountains, and it's a huge mountain range there. And then Anchorage is just tucked right in here, right on the inlet. So here is the Ted Stevens International, which if you like to watch any of those Discovery Channel videos or whatever, they're doing a whole new series on it called The Ice Airport. And it's extremely dramatic. And they go on and on about how, it's America's most, whatever airport, blah, blah, blah. And airport in Anchorage. So they like to over dramatize everything. But here is the downtown area of Anchorage. And here's that little strip park that I was talking about. It's like 8 or 9 blocks long. And then my parents' place is just like right around. And then this is the downtown area. And so some of the pictures in the video I took was just driving through the streets. And then we saw the moose video is on 7th. So it was like right in this area here. We're just out walking the neighborhood. And then if I back out, we have Merrifield, which is another small airport. And then there's the Air Force Base, Elmendorf Air Force Base is right here. So you see, we're sitting there for breakfast, and all of a sudden I just see this like giant jet right over, right through the window. It's like, oh, wow, yeah. The ice airport. I know. It's so ridiculous. A lot of those shows are, a lot of the Alaska ones, I mean, yes, the weather can be bad and it's harrowing and whatever, but they really exaggerate a lot of it. It's the ice road truckers and stuff. It's like the main highway. Like, anyways, yeah. You got to do the crazy hair for that though. My hair's not crazy enough for that tonight. Yeah. I don't know how some of those channels are on History and Discovery, but yeah. So see where I'm saying? It's like, it's a grid. Like it was super easy to drive around and find places. I even drove out to the zoo, which is down here. And they're open year round. It was actually really busy that day because it was like 29 degrees and everyone was out with their kids, and they had all in their front packs, and they had their big strollers out and wagons, and people were really excited to go to the zoo. But they have like polar bears and lynx, and Dad was like trying to convince me to go, and I was like, nah, I'm all right. I'm good. But I was like, you guys should come back and go in the summer. But there's a golf course. There's a lot of like even like lakes and stuff that we went to check out. So then we went over here to Jewel Park Lake, and we just parked here in the parking lot. So this is where they like to go in the summertime and sometimes just hang out. There's a nice big playground here, and you can watch people playing on it. But the lake, it was frozen solid, and there were people out with their dogs on sleds, and there were people out with a bunch of kids, and one lady got her sled and everything, and she was heading out to go ice fishing on the lake. And then they had this other couple were out there with this like big kite, and there was snowshoeing and cross country skiing, and it was just kind of cool to see everyone out enjoying the weather and enjoying the beautiful 20-degree warm 20-degree weather, because the week prior to me they'd been around 0 Fahrenheit. So everyone was just like really excited to get outside and see the area. So Jesse said, where did he say it was going to go? Ketchikan, Juneau, Skagway, and Victoria. So that would be, the Jesse tour, we call it the Jesse cruise. The Jesse cruise is going to take you from Seattle, and actually it used to come out of, and I don't think it is in downtown Seattle anymore. I think it's up north, if I'm correct. So I'm trying to find so here's okay. So yeah, it used to come in, the Alaska ferry used to dock here in Seattle, but I think now it's up. I think it's up in Bellingham. I think now it's up in Bellingham is where it's actually going out of, but I could be wrong. We'll check that. At least that's what it was. Okay, it's been 20 years since my parents were living up in Friday Harbor. So they used to actually live here in San Juan Island on Friday Harbor, which is in the San Juan Islands, just off the coast of Seattle area. So from here, and I doubt you'll go up that way. That looks a little too tight. But honestly, I don't know the route. So you come around this way, maybe on the outside or the inside passage. I mean, maybe you go in there. That looks tight, though. That looks really tight. Do you take the Joneston straight, or are you going on the outside? Because I'm pretty sure the ferry goes on the outside. I've taken the Alaska ferry, the state ferry out of Seattle. Well, maybe it's the state ferry that's in Bellingham now, not the cruise ships. So then you're going to come up this way, and you will come in up this inside passage, they call it, to Juneau, which is right here. And then Ketchikan's in here too. Where's Ketchikan? It's not showing up. Oh, and here's Skagway, all the way up in there. And then you got Glacier. You'll probably go through Glacier Bay, I would assume. National Park. I've been to the Mendenhall Glacier, which is here in Juneau. Oh, here's Ketchikan. There it is. So you're going to go to Ketchikan first. And you got that glacier. Hopefully I'm not making you all sick zooming in and out of the... Go to Ketchikan first. And here's Juneau. Mendenhall Glacier is up here in Juneau. And then... trying to see where else he said they were going. And then up to Skagway. Okay. Yeah. And then back. So just the inside path. And then back to Victoria, which is right here. And if you get off in Victoria, I highly recommend going to one of my absolute favorite places. Zoom in on 2G. Oh, I gotta click on it on the other thing. Hold on. Oops, I hit the wrong button. Should I trust Jesse and just click on it? Oh, okay. Well, that's a better picture. Okay, so it is coming. It's the Alaska ferry that's out of Bellingham now and not Seattle. Yeah. If you have a layover, or what do they call it? Excursion, a day excursion in Victoria, go see Butcher Gardens. Oh my God. It is like my happiest. So gorgeous. Okay. So yeah, this is a much better map than I did. I found all the places though. I got you there. Okay. So it does have you come along that inside passage the whole way up. That looked really tight. I would not want to be steering a boat through there. I can tell you right now. Hey, down home. Welcome in. How are you doing tonight? Hello, Annette. Welcome in. So the closest I can do to GT, you want to see where GT lives? We'll go over here. He is, unfortunately, I did not get a chance to meet him. My trip was too short. But he is, so I was in Anchorage, 45 minutes north of Anchorage. So I think, and I can't remember, he's either in kind of Palmer or Wasilla. So Wasilla's over here. If you can see that, Wasilla is this town over here. And then Palmer is this town over the mountains there. So he's up in this area, I believe, near the, oh, is he near Matanuska? So he goes into Anchorage, to do a lot of the big shopping. Anchorage has 2 Costco, Bass Pro, and they had a garden place that I really wanted to go check out, and I just never got to that one, but it was a garden center or something. But yeah, I want to see how I mean, it's just enormous. It's enormous. So look, the size of Alaska here. It's like covers like almost like half of the US. It's like 2/3 of the US. Like, I'm sorry, Texas, but do you see how tiny you see a little state of Texas here? And then you see the state of Alaska? Yeah, it's like, oh, here's Texas, right here. Or right, oh, right. Yeah, it's huge. So going back to Victoria, let's zoom in and see if we can find Butcher Gardens. It is north. Sydney. Or should I just type it in on the map? Because it's not showing up. It is north. You go north. I've driven it. And Butcher Gardens. There we go. Yeah. So is Ontario. Ontario's even bigger than Texas. Yeah. Plans will not be going live tonight, so the airwaves are all yours, Rochelle. Oh, yes. Thank you. I saw that. And I was like, oh, the one night I don't. The one night. Yeah. So here's Butcher Gardens. Okay. I'm going to zoom out just to see how close I was in my guesstimate. See, I was getting there. I was just over too far on that side. I knew it was near Sydney because this is where the ferry comes in from. If you're on this ferry coming over from either Vancouver or Washington State, it comes in there. So here's Butcher Gardens. It's over here. It is absolutely fabulous. Really, you can't really see it very good. The sunken garden, though. I mean, look at that. Just breathtaking, the whole place. And honestly, the begonias. I had begonias until Butcher Gardens. And the last time I was there. So the last time I was there was in 06, 07. I think we've flown out to visit my parents. And it's over here somewhere. They have it's just this absolutely beautiful room with begonias. And it's like a greenhouse type thing. You can't really go in it. And it's got like a waterfall in the middle. And it's just chock full of begonias. And the color, it blew my mind. I was like, oh yes. But so yeah, I'd gone to Butcher Gardens, a handful of times as a child. I will zoom back out and show you like I grew up in Salem, Oregon. So we would drive up. It's about a 4-hour drive to Seattle. And then we would come up here to Tukwila and take the ferry over. You can go from Anacortes or from, it's like right here at the Tawasin, at Tawasin, the ferry will take you over either way. So we would kind of come up into Canada, or you can go across from Anacortes a couple days a week. You can, and so we would drive up, take the ferry over, and absolutely beautiful. What's a good time for us? Hey, Glenda and Grace and Fire. What's a good time for? Oh, okay. I will rat you out. What? Me? Never. What? What? Yeah, I mean, feel free to make all your arrangements on my live. Yeah, go for it. Why not? I'm not doing anything here. I'm just repositioning. And hopefully I won't mess up my camera this time. Last time I did that, I turned into a ghost. Yeah. So it was so I flew in when I left on Friday morning. All my flights worked, thank God. I flew out of Anchorage at 6:30 in the morning. The morning my flight was 6. Landed in Seattle, and Seattle had been socked in the day before, and it was socked in the day after, but it was absolutely beautiful, sunny day when we landed in Seattle. And so when we flew out, I got to see all the mountains. What have I done with that footage? That's on my phone. I haven't uploaded that. I didn't upload that. I forgot to add that to the video. I'm gonna have to go in and edit that video. Maybe I'll do another video. Maybe I'll do a separate video because I've already done that one. I've uploaded it. But yeah, so we flew out here out of Seattle, and we flew out. We saw Mount Rainier. We could see Mount St. Helens in the distance. I could see Mount Adams, and then we flew over the mountains, and it was just gorgeous. I pulled up Google Maps on my phone just so I could see what we were flying over. But I could see the Columbia River, and then we flew over the Rockies, and it was just flying over all of this, just absolutely beautiful, into Montana. Like we could see, I felt like we were flying fairly low for some of it. I don't know, maybe because of the weather, they didn't want to get up any higher, but like you could it was just absolutely beautiful. Now I'm like trying to figure out where I saw that, where I put that footage. Let me see. I know I was using my phone, and I Pro, but my GoPro was up in my overhead bin on the luggage because I hadn't really thought that through. I was like, oh, I really wish I was actually videotaping this right now. So let me see if I have a few of those shots out the airplane. Here we go. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Oh my God, those birds are just, they're still barking. The birds are barking. No, the birds are driving me nuts. Okay, no, I don't want to add that to screen. I got to share. I have a feeling no one's even in her room because I can't imagine that she can handle these birds this long. I swear to God, I'm going to go insane. Oh, so here's just a couple pictures out the plane window. Some mountains in the distance. And then It's absolutely beautiful. So I was even sadder that I didn't get to see flying into Anchorage. That would have just been absolutely amazing. I would have definitely had my GoPro out for that. But it was so late in the day. I was just like, forget it. So this was so cool. So they have like, I don't know, it was a new airplane. They had like the USB port here, and then you could put your tablet on this little thing contraption, and then you could watch a bunch of free movies. I watched Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris, and if you like any kind of fashion movies or anything like that, I loved it. It was a great movie. It was a fun movie. Could have had someone out there cleaning the windows a little better. And then what is this? Oh, so I don't know where the video is though, because I took video with my phone. Is this it? Oh. I scared myself when it came on. I'm an idiot. Okay, let me share this screen. So I didn't realize how loud it was going to be. I'll turn the volume down. It was so loud. Oh, I'm a professional. You have nothing to worry about, Nicole. So look at that. Oh, my screen went blank. Nice. Hopefully you can all see. So here we have Mount Rainier and Mount St. Helens. And my screen keeps blacking out because there's too much going on. I can't handle it. But yeah, it was just an absolutely beautiful day. And flying. My screen keeps going black, so I won't be showing any more video like that. I can't have it. Yeah, I love taking off. It was fun. It was like, actually, I think I took video of that. Yeah, I took video flying out. The takeoff. Hold on. I'm trying to get there. I was in Seattle that day. It was dry and sunny. What is the turtle-looking lake? Knowing Washington State, it's probably Turtle Lake. I don't know. I part of the state. I grew up in Oregon more, and I know, the strip along I-5 in Seattle and stuff, but I don't know too much of the other parts of Washington State. But yeah, I was just so lucky. And then the next day, my friend that lives in Seattle, she's like, "Oh, it was pouring down rain. All lucky you got out when you did, and you were able to see it." Yeah, just flying out. And you know what? It was funny. It felt like home. Like it just felt so familiar. Just seeing that part of the country, even though I didn't get to get out and smell the fresh air right on the ocean like that. And then up into the clouds. Actually, so unfortunately, I listened to the pilot when he said to put away all phones and everything. We were flying into Chicago, and I wish I hadn't listened to him because phone back, and I put my thing away and whatever because we were going to be landing soon. We weren't landing anytime soon. I swear to God, we like flew to Michigan and then back. We did this huge loop to land because, of course, all the planes had been like, delayed and diverted. And I don't know where we landed. I think the guy said it was out in like the new cargo air landing spot. Runway, that's what it's called. Because we taxied for like 45 minutes to get to the actual airport. We were just driving. She was like and it happened on the way back too. She goes, "I think we're just taxiing our way to Toronto." It was like forever. So anyways, I was really mad that I hadn't had my phone out at least, because when we came down from the clouds, so it was like around 9 o'clock in the o'clock in the morning coming into Chicago. Chicago's right on the lake, right? And there was a cloud cover, and then there were a few breaks in the cloud where the sun was shining through. And you know how sometimes you're driving along and you'll see like these big will come through the clouds, and it just always looks like, oh. Well, this was happening in just certain spots. And then you could see the stream of like the light coming down onto the water. And it was one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. It was almost, then it was like dancing on the water. It was almost like looking down at the northern lights. I mean, that's what it looked like, because it had these rays of light, and it was almost like kind of a greeny white at the end when it was hitting the water, and it was dancing, and it was so majestic. And I was like, I should get my camera. And then I was like, oh, it's just kept getting better and better and better. And then I didn't get my camera, and I was so mad. And then I thought, well, I'll take pictures when I fly back maybe. But my flight no, it didn't happen. The only delay on the flight back was I was worried I was going to miss my flight, my connection in Chicago on the way back. Close, and we were kind of late getting out, and then we taxied forever. So we were like standing up, hadn't really even got to the gate yet. You know, everyone's standing up, they haven't like attached the door and everything. And it was 6:54, and my flight started boarding at 7. So I was like, oh my gosh. So I had to book it next flight. But they ended up being delayed about 10 minutes. So I got there and they were just starting to board. So it worked out. Got on the plane. It was supposed to leave at 7:30, and it didn't leave until 9 because we were all on board. We pulled away from the gate, and then we had to wait. And so it was an hour and a half flight from Chicago to Toronto, and we had to wait an hour and a half to get de-iced. So it's like when we were taking off, it's like, I should be landing right now. And unfortunately, like I had no Wi-Fi in the airplane. And so I wasn't able to tell Randy. So when we landed in Toronto, I sent him a text. It's like, I've been circling the airport for an hour, because he didn't know, and they hadn't updated him that he hadn't gotten it. Hey, Ruth, how are you? Welcome in. And I commented, I replied to you, but I don't know if I actually ever greeted you for coming in. I'm sorry about that, Katrina. Katrina's sister, welcome in. Yeah, it's absolutely beautiful. There's got to be video or pictures of it somewhere, because it can't have like been the only time it happened. So I should Google it and see if I can find something similar to what I found. Hey, Juicing with Jay, how are you? Hi. I don't know what's all going on in there. I'll have to see it on. All right, I can see it over on I have both chats up, but that's what comes in on StreamYard. It just describes everything. So it was absolutely beautiful. I saw the scenery and the views on my trip were just being like, oh my gosh, there's a mountain, like huge. Or I look out the window, I'm like, they're there. Like there's just these huge mountains out of every view, every room. And if you weren't looking out at the mountains, then you were looking out at the inlet, which actually there was a mountain range over there too. It's just here, Southern Ontario is like so flat. We have, you can't look and see like a snow-capped anything. I mean, there's snow on the ground, but you don't see any mountains in the distance. And growing up, I was originally from Alaska, and then I grew up in Oregon. We had the Cascades, and like from our house, you could see 3 snow-capped mountains at any given time. From my bedroom window, we had I can't even remember what they were now. There's Mount Hood, Mount Jefferson, Mount Jefferson was the closest one. Oh gosh, it's been a while. Yeah, so I was just always used to that. And then I moved to Florida, and Florida has the highest elevation in southern Florida is 14 feet. So it was very flat. And then Southern Ontario, we have the escarpment, like the Niagara Falls escarpment. That's kind of the greatest range in elevation here. And they have a few mountains. There's Blue Mountain, which go skiing there. I've never been, but it's not what I'm used to for going skiing at all, right? Yeah. Right now, I would rather be hearing a moose than stupid birds that I still hear going off in her room. She can't She's just in her room listening to birds tweeting loudly. Like, it's super annoying. Oh my God, hold on. I'm going to have to yell. Okay, we'll have to see if she's what's going on. Should I change it? You guys tired of the moose? We can go back to the mountain. That's going off. Here we go. Here's a nice mountain range. So this is from the railing. You can see the railings there. This is part of the outdoor. The dining area looks out onto the third floor, the roof area where they have like a big, a bunch of like flower beds, raised beds, flower beds. Do you hear it? Why is there birds? Tell me, Mike, that would have been a good idea. That would have good. They aren't like my hood or anything. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I mean, they do ski on it, but I see pictures of it and everything, and I just kind of chuckle. It's not Mount Hood. Yeah, absolutely beautiful. And so they have, and I have a picture. I did do a quick video of that as well. Let me see if I can show you. Because I took a lot of the video I just took on my phone because I had it, just walking around in the building there. And, and then I went to Costco and I had to take pictures of the Kirkland Signature brand alcohol in Costco. There was like this giant, it's 1.75 liters of gin brand for $16. I'm like, what? Like, I was just flabbergasted. I'll have to show you the picture. It's enormous. So I don't know. Do you guys all have Costco? Like, do you guys have alcohol in Costco? Because here in Ontario, we can only buy at the LCBO, which is the Ontario Liquor Store. We can only buy it through the government. Well, hello there. Oh, well, welcome on in. How are you guys doing tonight? Nice to have you. So yeah, I was just like blown away. Yeah, let me show you. So this is a picture of my dad he's at Costco, and it's like, really? Like, look at the size of that gin. Look at that. $16. 16 schmackaroos. Like, so I was taking pictures of everything because here in like for just a 750 milliliter, so 750 mils of like Tanqueray will cost me about $35. This, look at this, Kirkland Signature Pinot Grigio, $4.99. I'm like, what? Yeah, look at that, $4.99. That looks delightful. Kendall Jackson Chardonnay, and that's like the larger bottle, $15. I was just like, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. I was like, no wonder they have a problem with alcohol. Okay, look at this. Giant bottle of Chardonnay for $8. And look at the Robert Mondavi, $9.99. I was just laughing. I was like, is crazy. Like even the regular stuff was cheap, but then like the Kirkland Signature brand. Oh, and then look at this. That's because you have to pay the price to live in paradise. I guess, you know what, they live in Alaska. They deserve to have the cheap alcohol. Fish. Oh, this is the Napoleon brandy koi fish from France. It's $114, $115, but it's absolutely beautiful bottle. Absolutely gorgeous. Yeah. So then I was just kind of taking random pictures in Costco for my husband. Oh, Tillamook. I grew up on Tillamook cheese, and we cannot get that here in Ontario. They're not allowed to ship it through. Then we had this brie. It was absolutely amazing, $4.97. And then like I could not get over all the Mexican stuff, Mexican food, Mexican restaurants in Anchorage. I think there's more Mexican restaurants in Anchorage than all of Ontario, for sure. So we went to one. I was really excited. I wanted to try it. I went online before I went, and I was checking all the restaurants I want to try while I'm there. And I found this one Mexican restaurant. It had pretty good reviews. It was right in town, and so I said, "Okay, let's go." It was called El Diablo, and we pull into the parking lot, and I was like, fortunately, I could park right in front, but the parking lot was so lumpy with snow. I was like, "How are we going to get in here?" It was slippery. It was, oh my gosh. So dad gets out on his side and he has, fortunately the cane they gave him is like an ice pick on it. So it's not so slippery. So I get mom out and I get her into the wheelchair. And by this time dad has gone into the restaurant. The owner of the restaurant comes flying out, grabs mom's wheelchair, turns it around. He says, "Don't worry. I used to work at a senior home." And he wheeled her through the parking lot, up onto the curb, sidewalk, through the doors, right to the table. Like, amazing service. He was super nice. Then his wife came out. I mean, they were the most hospitable, gracious, wonderful people. And the food was amazing. And my dad was like, "Man, it really makes you feel like coming back, even if the food hadn't been so good." Because they were so nice and so gracious. So I keep forgetting I do have to write up a review. I tried to write up a review on Yelp or whatever, and it just didn't work. And then when we were ready to go, he came back and he helped and brought her right out to the car. Yeah, it was it was really, really nice. Yeah. Um, hey GT, listening. How are you? I was just showing people some of the pictures of Anchorage and the map up there. So yeah, GT gets to live up there, and GT gets to go getting his gin and juice on with his $16 Kirkland gin. Yeah, I was just blown away. Yeah. I showed you I showed your house. He knows I don't have his address, so we're good. Although I could have I could have just get your address and plug it right in. Yeah, I was just shocked at the prices. And even like a bag, you can get like a bag of tamales at Costco. Like what? Like the food there was just so different than what we get here in Canada. And they still have like the giant cans of things. So here I haven't seen like the giant, times you'll see like the giant thing of ketchup maybe and maybe the mayo. But there was one whole row in the back where they had like the giant cans of like stag chili. There was nacho cheese. Oh, I saw Jesse's giant thing of the pickled jalapenos, uh, pork and beans, whole thing at the back with just like these giant cans of everything, which was kind of like how Costco was originally, right? Like when Costco and um, what was the other one? Wholesale something. When they started, everything was in giant containers. It was like, oh my gosh, it was like the end of the world. We had this giant can of beans in the garage. It was like for the end of the world. Yeah, that was our prepping when I was a kid. Was this giant can of beans on? I saw. Hmm. Oh, I should have worded that better. My bad. We should all go to Costco and compare with each. That would be cool. I actually, and it was funny because someone was complaining on someone else's live that they don't understand people watching like videos of people going grocery shopping and whatever. And honestly, I've watched vlogs. I love watching Costco vlogs from like other countries. And like the foods that they have, like at the food court and things like that. I find it very interesting. There's a couple of guys that do like food reviews in Japan. It's called Tabby Eats, and they just recently did one at their Costco and what they were eating. I forgot all about the chicken bake because Canada, like since I've been in here, hey, welcome in. How are you doing tonight? Nice to see you. Welcome. Um, isn't that pretty? Glad you like it. There's yes. From Vietnam, welcome in. My daughter's best friend down the street that's from Vietnam as well. So welcome in. Thank you so much for coming. Happy New Year. Um, and all the waving. Thank you. Yes, Jesse, there's creams for that. But yeah, I enjoy watching people traveling and showing what's in their Costco. Yeah, the Costco in Tokyo. Yeah, very cool. Um, so the Costco here, we actually have a blog. It's called Costco East Fan Blog, and this person every single Monday, even during like lockdown, unless it was like totally closed, they didn't do it, but they'd go in to their local Costco and they take a picture of everything that's on sale, everything that's on clearance. So if the price ends in like 97 cents, if it ends in a 97, that's the signal that it's on clearance. You'll never see a sign at Costco that says clearance. But if it's a 97, that means it's a clearance. So this person goes through and they walk through every aisle and they take a picture of sale on clearance, something that might be new and exciting to the store, or just something that's a really good price. And they take a picture of all of it and they post it on their blog. And so that way you can always know what's on sale, what's a good price. And I love that blog. And yeah. Or 00. Yeah, I hardly ever see those, honestly. Most of the time I'll see a lot of 97s, but I don't see anything else. Hey, Lynn and Ann Lynn, how are you doing tonight? Yeah. So, I wanted to show this picture. Okay, so I met this lady. She was in my parents' home. So this is my dad's floor. He's on in the buildings there, right? And so it's like an apartment kind of a building. This young lady here, her name is Beth Calhoun, and she is a spitfire. She was telling us the story that outside of her room, she has a little table there, and she has this, and I forgot to take a picture of it. She has this, here's her name. I took a picture of her name, but I forgot to take a picture of her. It's a little statue thing with an award. She was on the team and won the National Curling Championship for senior women in 1984. So back in she was on the senior women's team. She is 96 years old. And she's walking around. She has a little walker that she uses, but she's walking around. She was fit as a fiddle, smart as a whip, and she was very proud of that. And she was very upset that they weren't even. So I said, "Well, can I take my picture with you? And I'll put it on my YouTube and put on my video." And so I was going to do a quick little thing, a blurb, see if I can find any information on it online, but I don't know. She said it really wasn't in the paper, but yeah, she was great and she was super sweet. If I have, this was their, sorry, the dollar store there. The dollar store there was pretty lame. The one I went into, dollar something or other, it was bad. It was bad. Like, it was like the 99-cent store used to be back in like the early days. It was not a good dollar store. It was no Dollarama or Dollar Tree, I'll tell you that. What was I going to show you? Oh, the necklace. Okay, here they are. So her daughter, I'll show you this. So I'm going to show you. You don't want to see everything. Here we go. Yeah. So her daughter, see you later, GT. Take care. Yes, she was, and she was so sweet and she was so funny. And her daughter makes these necklaces. These were all her personal ones that beads are super tiny. So this is ribbon, right? So the body of the little purse is made out of ribbon. So it's only about 1.5 inches wide by 1.5 inches tall. These are all little tiny seed beads that she puts on these necklaces. They're like a medicine pouch. So you would either or your lucky coin or stone or whatever in there. But they were so pretty. I really love this turquoise one, but they were so pretty. So I took some pictures to show my daughter because she likes making jewelry and beads and stuff. So I thought, oh yeah, back to the vodka. I took a picture of that. Like really like here you can't even get Costco Kirkland brand anything. This was one of my favorite signs, and I wish I'd gone and checked the price on this and bought this because I love this sign. I think this is hilarious. Women are like salmon. They're best when they're wild and from Alaska. I thought that was cute. Oh, and then there was another thing I forgot I wanted to buy, and that was the oh, and here's Danny's favorite picture from my video. If you haven't seen the video I released of just going through some of the oh, I gotta click on it first. Going through some of so if you have never been to Alaska, I don't know if anywhere else really has such unique gift stores like Alaska. They're so I showed my daughter the video and she was like, this is exactly what I would expect an Alaskan gift store to look like. So there's just animals everywhere. So there's this one. I thought these shirts were cute. This one, how to pick up chicks. It's a bear eating chickens. Yeah. I caught this with my bare hands. So, oh, I love Guns and Coffee with the Starbucks logo. Listen, Bear. Oh, I like this one. It says, "Listen, Bear, I'm a vegetarian," and he goes, "Oh, look, I guess I'm a humanitarian." I love this one. Oh, look, a menu. Oh, yeah. Shame on you, Nicole. Shame on you. Let's eat Bob. Let's eat Bob. Oh no. Comma save lives. So yeah, they have all these, cutesy Alaskan stuff. Oh, there's me and mom. Mom's looking very confused in this picture for some reason. Oh, this was at the Mexican restaurant. The guy was trying to read the menu. So it's right. This is the inlet part, and then you can see on the other side there's like a snow-capped mountain there. This is a really pretty place right at the end of town. And then the moose. So there'll be some moose heavy video coming soon. Yeah, it was just crazy. Can you imagine looking out that window? Can you imagine looking out your window and just like there's the moose right there in the front? Because it's not a big yard, and they're just chomping those rose bushes like John. Oh my gosh, yeah. And there he is. This is the baby. Even the baby was enormous. Yeah. So. And then when we were there, they had so here he is walking here. Oh, here was me trying to get, this was all I could got of the sunrise. I was like waiting, come on. And then it just did that. So it wasn't as spectacular as it had been other. So this is from inside the building, just looking at different angles. Oh my gosh. That's crazy. Flock of turkeys. My husband said the other day there were a ton of birds, little tiny birds all over the street out front. Like he said to him, I said, did you get any pictures or no? He's like, no. I said, well, I'm not going out. That would be terrifying. But here are just a bunch of the shots. Here's the menu. So yeah, so they had the Alaska Pioneer, Anchorage Pioneer Home anniversary while I was there on the Saturday. So they did this big shindig. They had a beautiful prime rib dinner. Money had been donated from the local Elks Lodge. And then they had live music. So they had this group called the Alaska Main Squeeze, where they had 2 squeeze boxes. So there was a lot of polka. They did all kinds of genres of music and stuff though. But here's a few of the people here. Oh, and here's mom. She got mom out dancing. I don't think any of this is going to be video. These are just pictures. So they had the big sign here, 45, if you can see it at the back. And I forgot I was going to go over and take my picture with it and pretend like this. My birthday is on Sunday, so only a few days away, and I am turning 45. So I was like, I could just pretend like this was a big party for me. So here are just a few pictures around here. That family in that one shot, their mother or grandmother had been an Alaskan and she was one of the first female senators. She was a real paved the way for a lot of uh, women's rights in Alaska and everything. And she had been at my mom's table, and they really liked her. And she unfortunately had passed away, but they had a plaque. Oh, here's a picture. I was going to go stand underneath. But they had a plaque for her and presented her with an award and everything that she had done for women and for the state of Alaska. So here, this is what I was trying to find earlier. So I'm standing right now in the 5th floor dining room, and I'm looking out on this covered area here. And this is a big patio area in the summer. And these are all, so if you're a resident there, you can rent, or I mean, you don't have to pay for it, but you can, yes, 21, woohoo. Yep, 45, whoop, whoop. So you can get one of these raised beds here and grow some flowers and stuff. So here was the menu. It was absolutely delicious. The food was amazing. From cocktail, and they did a nice job on the displays. And there I am, and my friend's like, "Why are you sitting on the floor?" Well, I wasn't. I was sitting on the other side, and then I went over, and then I was kind of an awkward. It's an awkward position. Thank you so much. But here we are, my mom and dad, and I'm smiling way too big. And there I am. I'm trying to get pictures of me in the mountains, and every time I try to get a picture with the mountains, the whole window behind me would just wash out. There's me and mom. We got ready for the party with our matching red. And then, oh, you don't need to see that. Oh, and then okay, so this is in one of the side. They have all these little kind of like living room areas around, and this is one of the main ones on their floor. And there's a sign on the table, and it says, "Do not sit on table." And so one of the staff members just walked. I feel like there's a story behind that. And she's like, "Oh, there is." And then she walked off, and I'm like, "Dude, like, don't just leave me hanging like that. You got to tell me what the story is." But she didn't. She did not want to tell me what the story was. So here, I just like every time I would walk by a window, I would like have to take a picture. I tried to take a picture behind me. Nothing. Washed out. And then if I'm washed out, then you can kind of see the mountains. So it's not a great place for trying to capture yourself and prove that you were actually there. But yeah, these are not working. Oh, that one. Okay. See, not as bad, but then it's like, you don't see the mountains. So, thank you, Nicole. Yeah, it was a really nice gathering. And then the music, I don't know. I can't play the music because I'll get in trouble. Is this? Oh no, I tried to do a panorama. That didn't work so well. Oh yes, I got my suitcase. So my suitcase only came like a day late. So that was exciting. I had to take a selfie with my suitcase. But yeah, I mean, it's just absolutely like, this is just that railing there. So I'm inside, of course. And this is just what they see every time. Just absolutely beautiful. And I think that's it. So, yeah, it was a great trip. And definitely probably would have been better if I'd gone in summer, but summer you have the mosquitoes and all of that. So I have a video with just driving around and a bit more of the moose. And then I have another video with where I go into a couple more shops. So one is a toy store. There's a quilt store. Amazing quilts on the wall. Absolutely stunning. And then there's like a little gift shop that had some really pretty Alaskan things and some artwork. And then the most, like, the sparkliest store I have ever been in my life. It's kind of like, I guess, consignment, secondhand, and there were chandeliers. There were so many chandeliers hanging from the ceiling, and there were giant crystals and stones and jewelry, and it was the most amazing store. Like, it was really crowded because they were rearranging and redecorating it. But oh my gosh, I would love to have gone back in there. It was absolutely beautiful. Reasonable, I thought. But I got my daughter a really pretty pair of vintage clip-on earrings because she doesn't have pierced ears yet. So I got her some clip-on earrings, and then I got her a little ring, and it was just a really, really cute little store. In this little strip mall. So it had those 4 stores, which were all amazing. And then the end, which we didn't actually go into, but I'm like, this could be like my favorite strip mall of all time. It was just some really great little shops. So that video will be coming out. I don't know. Once I get it edited and uploaded, the video I'm uploading now, I uploaded today, soon, that video, but then I might release that video first. So whatever, you get what you get. And then I've got to do a little bit of footage editing of the uploading some of the pictures and video of the flight, just flying out. It was really pretty. And I gotta remember if I can find footage of anything like I was describing of the sun rays coming through the clouds onto the lake there in Chicago. I was just kicking myself for not having pulled my camera out of the bag. We didn't land for like another 45 minutes. I thought, because I could see Chicago, I thought, oh, we're just going to go right in and land. Okay, I'll be good and, put my phone away like they said. Still a little mad about it. So anyways, it is getting late. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming in, for being here. Make sure you hit the notification bell so that when those videos go live. And don't forget to go check out Nicole. Nicole, can you just type in link? I think link should work, right? If you type in the word link, Nightbot should be here working. Type in link. Nicole is at 986 subscribers. 986 subscribers. So if you are not subscribed to Nicole Smith Gardening, what are you waiting for? If you like seeds, if you like art, if you like dogs barking, if you like somewhat intoxicated gardening, it is your channel. That is your channel. Go check her out. She is one of my favorite YouTubers and my internet bestie. And she's not dropping her link, so I'm going to have to do it for her. Only Jesse fell asleep on us. So, oh no. Oh yeah. So, 986, there she is. You got to get her to the 1,000 because she said she's going to go live. She's going to go live. Yeah. When she hits her 1,000, she's going to party. She's going to go live. There might even be seeds. There might even be giveaways. Yeah, it's going to be awesome. So let's get her done. Get her done. She only needs 14 more people. So share her out one night only. That might be all the internet could handle. Let's party. So yeah. So if you're not subscribed to her, subscribe. And if you want to subscribe, whatever, share it out on your community tab. Let's show her some love. Let's get her subscribe because I told her I will help her with her live. And it'll be really fun. So let's do it. Okay. Bye. Sorry, that's my Nicole impersonation. And it's pretty spot on if I say so myself. And if you, go watch her videos, you'll see. That's how she signs off. Love you. Anyways, so that will be really fun. And I will probably donate a sticker and whatever else. And she needs to get a logo. That's what we got to work on. You got to work on a logo for your giveaway so that you can do a t-shirt or a sticker or something giveaways with your logo, Nicole Smith. Because as lovely as you can't just have your face on a sticker. You got to have a logo. So we're going to have to work on that. I know. And Canva makes it easy. It's hard if you don't know what you want and what direction you're going with a logo, though. It is really tricky. Mine, it took me for knew kind of what I wanted, but oh yeah. Although in 1999, I couldn't drink yet, so I wasn't really partying that great. I had to wait. You need a sticker too. There are a lot of websites and apps that generate logos, and they do a pretty decent job. Or you can go on Fiverr, or you can contact. There's a few YouTubers that do logos as well. Oops. Yeah, and even Canva, you can go in and they have a lot of logo free. Do the free. I don't pay for the Canva stuff. But you can go in, and then if you decide if there's something, you don't have to buy the subscription, you can just buy the one item or graph or picture or whatever it is that you want. So get your stickers in order. If you need more help with that, I know MT Homestead has done a few sticker stuff. Stickers. It seems like someone just recently was offering to help people with logos, and I cannot remember who it was. Oh yeah, she was partying then. Bye bye. Oh gosh, it was someone not too long ago was in their live offering it, and I cannot remember who it was. So if you mention it in a video, Mike or Nicole, I'm sure there will be people will comment and be like, "Hey, I can help you out," kind of a thing, right? So I mean, I offered to help Nicole, and I gave her some amazing options, and Danny Days, that's who it was. Yes, you're right. It was Danny Days with the logo help. So hit them up. And if you need to, Sticker Mule has great deals and sticker prices. And if you want to do like even just like one-off t-shirt or anything like that, you can feel free to go through my Teespring account. You can just log on to my Teespring and upload your own logo to Teespring like that. You can do it on my account, or you can set up your own free account on Teespring if you want. So, oh, Daz as well. Very cool. Yeah, I knew there's a lot of people out there. All right. This is it. This is me. This is Brampton Gardner signing out. Happy to be home, sleeping in my own bed. Gonna get the seeds started. They're gonna be in here hopefully next week. Next time you see me. Next time I do, I don't know if I'll do a live next week. If I'm starting next week, I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, if I am doing, you'll at least see videos and updates, and check my Instagram, and hopefully we'll get some seeds in the dirt next week, because it's February and I'm already behind. So anyways, I love you guys. Thank you so much for coming in, and have a great week. And next time I see you, I'll be a year older. Bye. End broadcast.